Yeah.
Posso perguntar em inglês? Tá valendo para vocês? Okay, Bev. I want to know your thoughts on today's game and what can we expect from Canada and on the next Tuesday.
I thought it was an exciting game of football for anybody who was watching. It was very different to our encounter at the Olympics. I think there was chances. Yeah, it was exciting, but a little bit nervy at times, I think, for both teams, to be honest, but it's what I expected. I think whenever we play Brazil, it's that type of game where it's never going to be a big blowout, or it is always going to be close because they've got that quality and you know, it's hard to break down and vice versa. So, yeah, overall pleased. I thought we started strong and we maybe with a reason for our own mistakes. You know, I think the reason we were going to lose the game was probably from some of our own errors. But that's something to learn from, and when you've not had much on the pitch together before this game, I think that'll come hopefully by game 2.
Boa tarde, Beverly, tudo bem? Queria perguntar para você sobre a expectativa que você tinha para o amistoso. Beleza. Boa tarde, Beverly, tudo bem? Queria perguntar para você quais eram as suas expectativas para o duelo contra o Brasil aqui, na casa deles, né? E o que você espera para o jogo da próxima terça-feira em Itaquera?
Yeah, I thought the game would be what it was. You know, I think they look electric in transition. We knew that. We prepared for that. But I think what I expect is another very good game in game 2. Obviously, it's a quick turnaround, lots of travel, you know, maybe some rotations. But I think we have to learn from some of the mistakes today. But we also have to put to bed the really good chances that we had. I think we had some good chances that we could have scored from, arguably maybe a penalty as well. But I expect what I got today. I thought it was a very good football match for anybody who was watching.
Boa tarde, Beverly. Eduardo Jardim, do Jogo Falado. Pode ir? As atacantes brasileiras, elas são rápidas e costumam pressionar bastante na frente, né? O seu time conseguiu sair bem dessa pressão, principalmente buscando a primeira bola com a Fleming. Eu queria saber qual foi a sua estratégia para driblar esse incômodo que o Brasil costuma gerar.
Yeah, what they did was probably what we expected, because we prepared for it. I think at times we have to do a better job of balancing what we do in them moments. But, you know, I think when you've got the likes of a Jessie Fleming, Julia Grosso, you know, they're consistently bravely shown for the ball. It's whether or not we play them or whether we, you know, skip them lines. I think it's trying to get that balance and variation of how we play. But I think, you know, what you see in every backwards pass, Brazil were pressing and dangerous in that space. And I think, and I said it before the game, I think this Brazilian side look fitter, they look quicker, and more of a threat, to be honest, in terms of how quickly they can turn over and counter-attack than what we faced last summer.
What did you make of Shelina's game today? She was quite involved both in the attack and the defense.
Yeah, I think Shelina's grown and grown with confidence. She's obviously had a consistent run for us now in the last 3 windows. And I think she did brilliant, you know, and not just defensively, but also organising very, very well. She obviously scored a set play goal, and that's one of her individual objectives. But yeah, really pleased. I think you can see she's confident. She's playing a lot of, and you can feel and see that on the pitch.
Brazil tried when attacking in transition moments today. How do you feel Canada can counter that in the rematch on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's nothing we didn't expect. I think, again, we were brave, but at times over brave and a little bit sloppy, and we need to, you know, tidy that up. I think it's a good learning experience for us because, you know, we've changed the system. We've got new players in there who are brave and who are going to show for the ball. But I think we've got to bypass or play forward sometimes more often, because I think when they turn over 3 or 4 in a row, we've got to read that and we've got to vary how we attack. But at the end of the day, I think to get a win against Brazil with so many players missing, and you know, our 5th straight win, we can't take that lightly. Brazil are a top side, and we haven't beat them actually in the last 3 encounters under myself, 2 draws and a loss. So we're climbing, and that's the main thing.
Last question. What's your opinion on Adriana Leon's run of form in front of goal with scoring often?
I think Dre only scores some unbelievable goals. Yeah, she's got that, and that's why she's in the team, and that's why she's scoring, is because she has that technical ability under pressure to just pull the trigger and do it well. And I think yeah, that confidence is going to help us next year. And when you've got people consistently scoring, it really adds to the confidence of the team when we know we create chances, which we have been, more and more chances. I know we didn't create this many chances in the last 2 encounters, so that's really positive for us heading into 2023.
Em cima da pergunta sobre a Adriana Leon, ela muitas vezes joga pelo lado direito, também pelo lado esquerdo. Hoje mesmo o gol saiu pelo lado esquerdo. Eu queria saber se isso é mais orientação sua ou se é questão característica dela mesmo.
I think it's just a blend, you know, varying it up. I actually thought Brazil targeted Adriana, you know, higher up the pitch, doubled up on her, made her life difficult every time she received the ball. But, you know, I think she has the ability, it depends what we're looking for, whether we want her in behind or we want it to feet. She can play both sides, and she can also play the number 9 position. So when you've got that versatility, it's really good to have.
Bev, I want to hear your opinion on the Brazilian side, maybe weak points, stronger points, major threats regarding players, and how important it is for you and the Canadian side right now to face a top team like Brazil in the preparation for the World Cup.
Yeah, our message to the players even today was that the best teams raise their standards when they're asked to. And I think Brazil, that's why we came here, because we know Brazil, you have to be able to attack well, but also defend very well. And like I said, for me, Brazil are better than when we played them before. I can feel that. I felt that game was, you were never resting. It was always something could come out of nothing. And I think it's critically important for us to get that exposure. And whether we've got players missing or not, players have to step in, step up, get that exposure, because that's the sort of team that you could face in a quarterfinal, semi-final. And these experiences are going to help us. You know, we played them, She Believes Cup, before we went to the Olympics, and it paid off because we faced them in a critical point in the Olympic Games because we had experience against Brazil. So for me, they're dynamic, they're a threat. Pia's a fantastic, experienced coach, and you can see and feel that.
That'll be it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pode?
Oi, Pia, boa tarde. Eu queria uma avaliação. Você está me ouvindo? Está conseguindo ouvir bem? Está tudo certo? Aqui, ó, Pia. Eu queria uma avaliação sua da partida de hoje. Que tipo de modificações, até táticas mesmo, você conseguiu treinar nesse período um pouco mais longo de trabalho, que não é tão comum assim numa seleção, e a importância de você ter esse período justamente para poder trabalhar com os atletas?
I would like to say I'm not happy with the result, but there are spells in the game we did quite well. And you saw that one of the best players, played with Caroline in the middle, and we just will take out a couple of clips and show how effective we are, and we just need to work on the final pass, which is the hardest situation in football. But we really like that combination. Now, given that Caroline has not been playing a lot because the league ended for her, so her preparation for this has not been optimal. And still, Ari and Caroline I have to mention that, Adri and Bea, that kind of game, I think, was very good. Now, why didn't we win? We started off to deal with, if you recall, Sinclair, for instance, that space. We did quite well. But at the end of the game, we were punished with the set pieces. And it's a lesson to learn. I usually think when I'm sitting on the bench, we get a set pieces against us. That's good, because we're going to get set pieces in the World Cup, and we need to work on that. There is still, we need to improve our game because we're not good enough 90 minutes. That's what this game showed us. And we can do better with subs coming off the bench. And there's room for improvement as well.
Pia, Fernanda Arantes aqui do SBT. Primeiro, é muito bom ver vocês jogando em casa, e sempre é dito sobre a evolução dessa equipe da seleção brasileira desde quando você assumiu. Queria saber sobre a equipe do Canadá, o que ela traz de dificuldade e de evolução para o Brasil nesse momento preparatório para a Copa do Mundo.
I think one thing that is good for us, every game is a teacher, and we will give the players feedback. And one of the feedback is, if you look at the Canadian player running at you, or a 50-50 duel situation, that is something we can do better defensively. And I'm not saying we're going to be stronger or bigger. I'm going to say we'll be smarter. And it's a lot to do about attitude and also your position. In the defense, we talk a lot about distances. We have a couple of games to also figure out what to do with the word grit. I love this word. And the reason for that is, back coaching US, it is contagious when you have a player refuse to lose. And if you take the last 10 minutes, we try to change, push people forward. Hope you saw it look a little bit like 4-3-3, but still it's not exactly what we want. We want the player to be more attacking, more aggressive in the defense. So we got another game against Canada and have the chance to show that we can change the combination with the starting lineup a little bit. So this is It's not a perfect result, but it's a perfect game.
Pia, boa noite. Pia, boa noite. Lili Nascimento, da ESPN. Pia, primeiro eu gostaria de perguntar quais pontos específicos, pontuais ali, que a seleção precisa melhorar para o jogo de terça-feira, quer dizer, o jogo já está bem próximo lá na Neoquímica Arena, para conseguir sair com um resultado positivo e o quanto esse resultado positivo, se sair na terça-feira, dá ainda mais confiança para uma próxima temporada da seleção, que é tão importante, né, que vem a Copa do Mundo pela frente. Obrigada.
One specific thing, when I talk about the attack, you know the word fica com a bola, and it's the middle of the park. What we need to improve is desafia a linha with runs. So I would like to see both, if you look at the game, the goal, it's a good timing with that ball over the top, short one with Debinha runs. We have one of the fastest player in Ludmila, but the team is not yet able to play that ball with good timing and with her runs, because that is a unique threat. If we are capable to do that, most likely the opponents will drop off a little bit more, and we will get more time to play the center of the park and sometimes go wide. So that's one specific thing we talk about, desafia a linha, and have the courage to do that. Repeat it, even though you don't get the ball. And as you know, if you repeat it over and over again, you need endurance. Just put your eyes on Bia. I thought she played very well the first half. And ask yourself, so why didn't we see that the second half? And of course, it has something to do with the endurance. And that's exactly why a person like Evie, working with us, and Rodrigo, that we try to push them little by little. And we do have time enough, I think, going to the World Cup. So you will see players desafia a linha, sem a bola, and with the ball as well.
Boa tarde, Pia. Christopher Henrique, do torcedores.com. Vou aproveitar o gancho você está falando da sua estratégia no começo do jogo e já perguntar qual foi o plano que você teve no começo de jogo e se você fez alguma mudança após os 2 gols do Canadá nos 10 primeiros minutos. E já aproveitando, teve alguma coisa, algum motivo para as jogadoras terem um cansaço no segundo tempo, né, fazendo a partida se tornar um pouco truncada? Obrigado.
Okay. We would like to play in different ways. So when we played against Norway and Italy, we played differently in the attack. Now we try to play with, if you look at position with Bian and Adri, which I think at times was phenomenal. It was great. It looks like a Brazilian attacking team, but we were not effective. So even though we gave up a goal, and then again, it's a set piece, we will continue, because it's always a balance between, oh, we need to get the result, we change it, we take the chance, or now we trust what we are working on and let's play like that a couple of more minutes. We changed when JC came in. And if you look at JC's game against both Norway and Italy, we were looking for the similar, but I don't think it worked out quite well. So there is a feedback to the team. There's a feedback to JC after this game. So how can we bring a better performance? And it's a teacher. The game is a teacher. So, and remember, Canada is the gold medalist in the Olympic, and they're getting better and better.
Pia, boa tarde. Eduardo Jardim, do Jogo Falado. Você preferiu utilizar a Bia Zanerato aberta pela esquerda, né, como você acabou de citar. Eu queria que você explicasse o porquê desse posicionamento dela, né, e também, se você me permite fazer uma outra pergunta, a Sinclair, eu achei que ela conseguiu flutuar bastante entre as linhas ali de defesa e do meio do Brasil. Você acha que faltou um pouquinho de pegada, talvez, naquela região do campo? Obrigado.
Bia has a great left foot, and she's been playing up top the most of the games in the national team. We thought just have a little bit of different angle and not play up top. She has dispossessed too many times, I think, but this first 45 minutes, I think she played very well. And the fact that she's pinched in a little bit, she gets closer to the goal. And the beauty of that is with the left-footed and we did see that a couple of times, early cross with her left foot. And of course, there is a chance to play up top as well. So this is why we're trying different things. When it comes to the connection, because football is about distances, football is about making decisions and movement off the ball. So if the distances are too far, then it's hard to get connected. So I think it was, we talk about compactação in the defending, but we also talk about compactação in the attack, because it is a Brazilian team. I wouldn't say that if I had the Swedish national team. But this is different, and they play with so small chance. And when it works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't, it's not so good.
Oi, Pia. Boa tarde. Amanda Porfírio, do Fute das Minas. Pia, comparada à última vez que o Brasil encontrou o Canadá, né, nas Olimpíadas, a gente encontrou um Canadá mais propositivo, né, uma equipe que buscou mais criar jogadas e principalmente teve a felicidade, né, das bolas paradas, de conseguir converter. Então, eu queria que você falasse um pouco também do Brasil, como se apresentou hoje. Alguns pontos você já falou aqui, mas principalmente a gente viu um Brasil um pouco perdido, usaria um pouco essa palavra, no início do jogo, né? As jogadoras tentando ali se posicionar melhor e na criação de jogadas, principalmente, a gente não conseguiu construir muito coletivamente, que era uma arma muito poderosa do Brasil nas últimas partidas, né? Então, eu queria que você analisasse nesse aspecto de ter encontrado um Canadá um pouco mais diferente e o quanto isso vai ser desafiador para preparar um Brasil também um pouco diferente para o jogo de terça-feira. Muito obrigada.
Well, let's wait for the Tuesday's game. We're going to analyze this game first. But one thing, if I compare to the game, the quarterfinal Olympics, this game I like so much more because it's more dynamic. The game against Canada, 0-0, extra time and penalty kicks, we did not challenge the line. And you really need to do that against Canada. Especially, there's so much room in the midfield, and if you do not explore that field, that space, and try to play the last ball, they would just defend very well, and they would go a counterattack, like they did a couple of times today. But I like this game so much more because I can see what it leads up to. It was in the Olympics, it was too slow and it was anxious. Today we have different players which make the difference, and they are younger, and I will like them, and that's our job to make sure they take the chance and have the courage to look at some of the solutions Ari had. She has not played many games, but she's in the middle of the park. She plays against the Olympic medals, and she comes out with the ball. And that's something we would like to encourage. That means also that we lose the ball. Yeah. And we have to deal with that and be prepared for that will happen. Because is it a risk or is it a chance? And I'm a positive person, so I would like to look at as a chance. The next game we will sort out with this game first. The next game against Canada, most likely will be some changes because we will try players. And that's one of the reasons we have 2 games.
Boa tarde, Pia. Gabriela Brino, do UOL. Eu queria que você fizesse uma avaliação, por gentileza, da Caroline, que esteve em uma função nova, um teste que você fez, e como pudemos ver, deu bem certo. Então, queria uma avaliação de forma geral sobre esse teste e da Caroline especificamente, por favor.
Caroline, she is a good player, and she is unpredictable. And unpredictable could be very good. Unpredictable could be difficult and bad. But as long as she's, today, for instance, unpredictable, as long as she doesn't play it backwards too many times, and of course you do that, you want to gain some confidence, but I think she did well today. And for me, it's not only one player, it's always couples at least. So as I mentioned, the way she played with Ari, but also Adri and Bia in the first half, I think it looks so interesting. So interesting. And we just need to keep the ball a little bit longer so we can get Tamires a little bit higher, Fernanda a little bit higher, and get a little bit of a pressure. And today we almost succeeded. But I'm not just evaluating the game today. I look at the next one, the future, and not only the next game, but also the World Cup. How good will Caroline be with Ari defensively? How good will they be a long-range shot by Ari, for instance, if depending on what we encourage them to do?
Boa tarde, Pia. Aqui é a Karina de Bradoras. A seleção levou 2 gols de bola parada e o Canadá foi muito efetivo nessa jogada, atacando e defendendo. Como você analisa esse ponto do adversário? Obrigada.
Every time Canada create a chance, we look thoroughly and what could we do differently? And it's not only when they score goals. They had a couple of few chances. Why do they create a chance? And then we coach the team and try to emphasize certain things. We spend time with set pieces quite a bit. We have video, and it's really cool actually, because none of us 3 Swedish people we speak fluent Portuguese, but we have communication with the players. And then the player, like Tamires, for instance, when we have video clips, they are so involved because that is what it takes if you really want to do a good job 100%. And I'm really amazed of how they embrace the pregame talk and this specific thing. Now, they know what they do, but they are not yet good enough. So there will be mistake. And as long as they understand, okay, that was a mistake, I would try to do better. So how could I do better? I have to train. If it's to be stronger in the air, or if to move the feet, open up your body, small details, which we can't practice during this short amount, but they get homework and they can practice. Then it's a lesson to learn. And we will go back and look at, analyze those 2 goals thoroughly and make sure that we coach in the right way. Because we analyze certain things, it's important to coach also, because I think that's 2 different things.
Oi, Pia, boa tarde, Tainá Fiore, da TNT Sports. Eu queria falar um pouquinho sobre a Antônia. A gente viu que ela foi um destaque na Copa América, depois nos outros amistosos também foi um destaque, vem sendo aí um nome muito pautado por nós da mídia. Mas hoje ela acabou entrando ao longo da partida e eu queria que você falasse um pouquinho sobre essa entrada da Antônia, o que você acredita que mudou na partida aí do Brasil e também que projetasse um pouquinho o quão importante vai ser o nome da Antônia, já pensando aí no Mundial do próximo ano, já pensando também em toda essa preparação. Obrigada.
I said Ari is unpredictable. I think Antonio is unpredictable as well, in a very good way. The reason why some of the players sitting on a bench and not playing the starting lineup because we need some answers. This is not the first game in the World Cup. This is the road to the World Cup, so we need some answers. And so that is one of the reasons why Antonia just played in the second half. And her position is different in the future compared to Fernanda, who played, because she has different skills. And I think that's the beauty of football. You have starting lineup and then people coming off the bench with different skills. If we can use that different skills and change the game a little bit, we tried to do the last 10 minutes, trying to get a goal. But when that works, that is one of the greatest moments in football, I think.
Boa tarde, Pia. Clara Saraiva, Baixada Esporte. Bom, a gente viu durante toda a semana o Brasil treinando muito bola defensiva aérea. E hoje tomamos gols desse modo. Anteriormente, em coletiva, a Antônia disse sobre jogar no erro do Canadá pelas laterais. E hoje a gente viu o Brasil insistindo muito pelo meio. O que fez o Brasil mudar a estratégia nesse jogo, diferente do que fez durante a semana?
So we first of all, Canada is good in the air, okay? So that's something you want to prepare the players, and it's not only about the Canada game, it's about how we improve the player and we repeat some of the drills quite often. And one area is to deal in the grandiera, to make sure that we have the right relationship, regardless if the ball is swing in the air or if it's on the ground. So we have a plan back and we have a plan going forward. So what we train is not only for Canada, but also the next games we're going to play going forward.
Boa noite, Pia. Sara Campos, da Rádio Outra Dimensão. Antes mesmo da partida, estavam falando sobre talvez ser uma vingança do Brasil das quartas de final dos Jogos Olímpicos, e você contou muito bem sobre essa diferença do time, de ser um time um pouco mais jovem. E eu queria te perguntar como que você faz para tratar até das atletas mais jovens chegarem nesse jogo que tinha aquela carga da eliminação dos Jogos Olímpicos.
I think it's so important to look back and remember where the women's game is coming from. So the Brazilians national team, what have they been doing? So if there is something called revenge or you want to do better, even though you were not in the Olympics, it's my job to make sure that they understand they take another jersey from another player and you represent Brazil. So in a positive way, because Brazil is one of the 10 best teams in the world. So if you can find something, words or whatever, that will bring into this game and hopefully give some courage and confidence, you try to do that. But at the same time, as I said, result is one thing. And the performance is not exactly the same. So what we're going to do after this game is looking at certain situations where it really looked well and say, this is so much better than in the Olympics. But we will also probably 2 and 2 individual look at, you need this quality in order to be successful in the World Cup. So we do a lot of things to giving them feedback. Obrigada.